the doors have opened up for now. What's your schedule? What do you have planned? Where are you on the road?
So I'm fortunate. I have some great performances still on Zoom, and I am getting to go out and produce and to promote some of our premieres of Workhorse Queen, the documentary, and I have been working on the pilot episodes for Imagination Station.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a second. I want to go back to Workhorse Queen. How did that come about?
Oh gosh!
What made you think, oh, I need to do a documentary?
Well, I didn't. So I one day I got an email who said Angela said, "Hi, I am a professor at Carnegie Mellon, and I'm interested in doing a documentary on you. I don't expect you to say yes right now, but I'd love to sit and talk to you about it." So she came to Rochester, and it was right after my birthday, and she brought cupcakes. Well, of course I'm going to say yes. You brought cupcakes, but we sat and she talked to me about. She was very kind, and she said, you didn't get to tell enough of your story on Drag Race, and you and your husband have these wonderful videos on YouTube, and she was quoting all of these. So she had been watching, and she said, I'd like to help you streamline this story and help to tell the story. Well, we began the process. It took us about 4 years, and she taught me so much about not just I don't know anything about making a documentary. So she taught me that process and how not to play so much to the camera, because we are drag queens. We are just going to do that. We're going to make sure you watch us. But to be open and to be honest, she helped me in that respect. And then I was able to include my community and people that I adore, and people like Aggie Doon, who has been trying for years to be cast on Drag Race, to be a part of this, kind of worldwide phenomenon. So that just it just continues to evolve, and then the trust grew, and she followed me everywhere. She was up my butt. She was down. We went to Australia. We went to New York City. She was here in Rochester all the time, in our house, filming, asking questions. And then I didn't hear from her for a while, and I was like, "Oh, great, the project's not going to happen." That was just that. But no, she was busy working on putting together a team, and what they do is they watch all the footage, and they pull all the words, and they find the story. And I think she did I'm just so very humbled and flattered by the work she did and put that story together.
When was it released?
Was it January at Slam Dance? It was our first film festival, and now it's touring on film festivals. And Angela is in negotiation for a streaming platform or network. I'm not exactly sure. She won't tell me. I don't know why. I guess I have a big mouth. I do. But it's a part of the negotiation process. So we're excited to say that it will be also not only on the streaming, film festivals, but on a network or streaming platform soon.
I'm sure it will be. There's so much out there. They've got to fill content with something. Why not you?
Exactly.
Why not? You mentioned a theater background. What was that? What was your theater background?
I had a scholarship to a theater school, theater program at a school in Pennsylvania, and I enjoyed participating in children's theater and of course all the different theater programs. And I went to they had us work at a ballet company, and then I jumped right in and learned ballet, and I loved if I could dance, I would dance every day of my life. I loved that. And so it was a great experience. And I went to New York City then and flopped. I was young. I got a couple parts in these off Broadway shows. And I'll never forget, her name is Lori Peters. Lori was the original Liesel in Sound of Music. And she was in, oh gosh, I can't think of it all of a sudden. But so she was in some movies and some television shows, and she said to me, "You know what I think you want to be?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "I think you want to be a drag queen." And I didn't even know what she was talking about. And I was like, "What?" And I don't know whether she was intuitive. I mean, I wasn't really doing, we were just we were acting. She was our acting coach and our director. And I was like, "Okay, lady, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to be a star." Yeah, so that was that. And so my little New York City run ended quickly, and I went back to Scranton with my ex-wife, and we ran bingo halls. But, we laugh. It's helped me because now I run bingo sometime on Zoom, just like Miss Richfield.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. What college in Pennsylvania was that?
It was Marywood College at the time, Marywood University.
Okay, I haven't heard of that, but I'm sure it has a fine theater program if they ask you to be a part of it. So, what's her name from RuPaul's Drag Race? Just got hired to do the touring company of Hairspray.
Nina West.
Nina West. Yes, yes. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Oh, of course. Yes, Nina West and I are, so it's funny. She and I both are interested in doing children's programming. She and I both have a positivity persona that we work towards, being on our social medias. And yes, we have the theater interest. And we have the same management company, and they called and they said, Nina can't do this particular gig. I was like, I'll take anything. Whatever she can't do, I'm in. Because, again, there's a similarity there. So she's very popular, and things are going well for her. I couldn't be happier. She's on, she did something with Kermit the Frog. She's had a lot of work with Disney and Nickelodeon, I believe. So things are going well for her, and I'm so happy for her that this is a dream role. Wow. And it's terrific.
You mentioned your sobriety, and you said how that has changed your career. Can you talk more about that?
It's changed my life. My process of sobriety, it brought me to my knees, and it had the whole process of rehabilitation made me realize what I'm grateful for, helped me to appreciate and to reconnect with my spirituality. I had an upbringing which was a Ukrainian Orthodox church. I didn't know what they were talking about. It was in Ukrainian, but I felt the fellowship. I felt the camaraderie. I felt something good about that experience, but I lost it. And so I kind of was like, yeah, I believe in a higher power. I believe in God, but it's like, I've got this. I'm going to do this, and so I lost touch there, and the whole process has really helped me to open my eyes to being in the moment and to realizing I'm not in charge and to try to do for others. And these were things that in some way, shape, or form I had been exposed to or I was taught, but I was really gunning for trying to get things done my way and fill up my cart first. And so, yeah, I couldn't be more grateful. And as a matter of fact, can you see there's my only tattoo says grateful. And my parents are probably rolling over in their grave. They're like, nobody in this family is going to get a tattoo. But being grateful it teaches me, if I look down at my arm, to be in the moment and to be grateful for what I do have. Because when we do, and that will continue to bring more of what we're grateful for our way. Because I've had that stinking thinking where I'd be like, nobody likes me, or comparison, and that would spiral. Now I have that physical thing that I can look at and say, okay, what is good? And the more I look at what is good, the more comes my way. So truly life-changing for me. Now that doesn't mean anybody else in the world has to get sober, but I thought I'm happy to tell that story and to share my experience with.
What was the reaction from the other drag queens who knew you as, what's your famous line there about a cocktail?
There's always time for a cocktail. Yeah.
So what was their reaction when they realized that there wasn't any time?
They were relieved. Most people who truly knew me were glad to know that I was working on this part of my life. And certainly because, I've mostly been a lot of fun, but when I wasn't, I would turn. And they used to joke. I used to love Tanqueray. They would say, when the Tanqueray turns, it would be the switch. and I gotta be meanie. And that's not how I want to be.
Very nice. Your new project, you're pushing out there a new idea. Let's watch a clip of that, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Woo! Hey there, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Kasha Davis, and over the next few minutes, I'm going to introduce you to my fabulous vision, Imagination Station. Imagination Station is a kids show hosted by yours truly. The show is about acceptance, loving yourself for who you are, and treating others with respect. Cross Pee-wee's Playhouse and the lesson-based Mr. Rogers, and you start to get close to what we're envisioning. Over the past decade, I have been a busy gal. From competing on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7 to thousands of appearances across the country and in Europe, writing 2 children's books and hosting Drag Story Hour at Blackfriars Theater. Oh my goodness! When does a gal get a time for a mani or a pedi? Imagination Station will be a kids show unlike anything the world has ever seen. Let's face it, kids love me. From stories with my special pack of friends to trips out in the community. Tell me, fellas, what happens when you pull up to the scene of a fire?
We're going to be doing some I Spy hayrides today.
Woo! I see poison ivy. We'll teach our little ones about loving themselves and being the best person they can be. Ooh.
You didn't shave today, but I did.
That's all for now. I'll see you at Imagination Station.
How fun!
Yeah.
Where's it going? What's happening with it?
Well, I'll tell you. So we are just about 3 weeks out. We will begin the filming process, and we've written 4 episodes. We've created a wonderful, fabulous set and costumes and all that jazz. And I wrote original music with Andy Pratt, an individual here. And so the goal is the goal is to sell these 4 pilot episodes to a streaming platform. And so we've had interest from HBO Max. We'll see what happens. They wanted to see more. We're going to show them more. A couple other platforms as well. And the bottom line is, when I was a kid, there was nothing like this on TV. The only thing that I can say is it was, of course, Pee Wee Herman was like campy. But then, Mr. Rogers was so honest and sincere. And I thought, if we can take Mrs. Kasha Davis, a drag queen, and her husband of 18 years, and show their life and what goes on in the imagination of a drag queen, Imagination Station, and add in story time and celebration of community. The goal is to stay in Rochester and to celebrate this community like Mr. Rogers did of Pittsburgh.
How exciting. How fascinating. Now, those clips that we saw in that promo, how did you come about with those?
Well, so we would do an episode on occasion called Out and About. And you see I was at a petting zoo, and then I was at a bakery, and I was at a gym. And, this weekend, Friday, I will be going to a doctor's office. And so, kids might have concerns about going to the doctor. And the whole idea is Mrs. Kasha Davis is headed to the doctor, and what can you expect? And, and so some of it will be, tongue-in-cheek humor, but some of it will be like, real questions of things that happen at the doctor. And so, the idea is that not to teach kids, this is how to be a drag queen. It's more so how to treat others who are out in the world who might be different with kindness. And that story happens to be told, just so happens to be told by a drag queen, because when you love your most genuine self, anything is possible.
Imagination Station's picked up by HBO Max. It runs for 5 years. It wins 3, 4, maybe 5 Emmys. And then what are you going to do?
Well, you and I are going to go out to dinner and celebrate that prediction. And maybe do a casino afterward. No, honestly, this has been such a wonderful whirlwind of great things happening. The documentary and now the children's program. My next dream is to be a grandfather, mother person to our kids' children. They don't have children yet, but I'm pushing them. That we have 2 adult daughters, and one is engaged. So it doesn't matter which one has the kids first. But so we look forward to being grandparents, and we dream about having a camper and touring the United States and spending a couple weeks in P-Town and then going over here and making appearances as Mrs. Kasha Davis as I see fit. Hopefully, though, I will be so busy with my filming schedule that we'll have to schedule those times, accordingly. But the story time, the Imagination Station children's television show is the ultimate dream that became exposed as time went on. I didn't realize it was my dream. And once I started to do the story time and I saw those faces light up, I thought, I never had that. And that's what I can do with this drag. And certainly I can continue to do New York, New York as Liza Minnelli and Does Your Mother Know and all that stuff and enjoy it. But that is the moment when I saw those faces looking at me and I'm reading a book and their eyes, I thought, this is magical for them and it's making it magical for me.
Mrs. Kasha Davis, this has been an extreme pleasure and an honor to talk to you this evening. I wish you nothing but the best. Your future is so bright. I'm going to have to get some shades. I can't wait to see what you're doing next. And do you have any words to leave with the Amber Live audience tonight?
Well, first and foremost, I feel like I'm looking in the mirror. We both love glasses. We both are wearing pink. We like a big accessory. So I'm so grateful for you and for you inviting me to your program. And I just want to say to everyone out there something that my mother used to say for children of all ages. She taught me this when I was a little boy, girl, gal, girl, boy, fella. She said, no matter what, every day after you brush your teeth, look into your own eyes and say, I love you. Because when you love yourself, anything is possible.
So true. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.